Boyfriend went to visit his mom in Europe and I found out a horrible truth. PT1. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. Here's the short, or maybe not so short, version of a very long messy story. I was married for 10 years, have a daughter from that relationship but got divorced. About a year after my divorce, I met someone and I was quite infatuated with him at the time. Was the first time I dated in 10 years, so I suppose I was easy to deceive having been out of the game for so long, so the red flags were not that obvious. Here's where it gets messy, and I should add that I had no idea while dating this guy, let's call him Turd Blossom, that he was cheating on his wife with me. TD was using a fake name and had multiple other girlfriends on the side, which I found out about eventually. He was always on his phone ready to reply, available, chatting every day while we work. There was nothing that looked suspicious. Found out he had 2 phones, one for his harem and one for his wife after everything crumbled, but then again I've never come across his level of evilness, so I doubt I would have recognized any signs. He was a chef, so his long hours working weren't even sus. His wife was in another country, he was in my home country at the time waiting for a visa to come through. He then left and I found out I'm pregnant, no excuse, I'm old enough to know about the birds and the bees, sometimes things just don't work. Well, TD has been harassing me ever since. Record scratch freeze frame. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. So, out of the blue one day, while we're still together, and looking back I use together very loosely, he phones, he's on his way to his mom, who lived in Europe, as she is critically ill in hospital and the family doesn't know if she'll pull through. I tried my best to support him, checked up on him, my daughter sent him little prayers on voice notes, etc. etc. Couldn't wait for when he comes back. I was talking to a colleague about how bad TD's mom was, who said that's weird, TD is waiting for a visa but could jump on a plane to Europe to see his mom. That was when I first got that oh hell no feeling in my stomach. But reason maybe he got an emergency visa or had PR in the EU since his mom did? Kinda hoping for the best but fast starting to expect the worst. So at the beginning of our fake relationship he pertinently mentioned a school friend that was like a brother to him and whom he's known most of his life. After a little light Facebook stalking, the friend is found on Facebook but has no one named TD on his friends list. Looking through his friends list we do find TB's account but under a different, his real, name, Shit Biscuit, listed as married with a 2-year-old. Turns out he was using his cousin's name, for me at least, the other women, I'm getting there. All got different names. On the topic of his cousin, who had no part in any of this, the poor dude's wife found out and thought her husband was cheating until it was made clear to her that it was TB who only used her husband's name. I told you it was messy. Heartbreak at its finest. I confronted him and he's full of the usual lame excuses, typically blaming his horrible marriage for him having an affair, for lying to me, for using a fake name, plays the victim card, how she abuses him, never gives him affection, how he's got so much debt can't leave as he'll never see his daughter again if he divorces, yada yada. Let me just say that his worry was not about not seeing his daughter if he divorces. Horrible, she's not, wife. His worry was he'll also be divorcing his paid-for visa into a first world country. He also immediately deactivated all his social media so he can't be contacted again. The whole thing really messed me up. Did I really get out of a divorce just to get F over by the first guy I date? Weeks later, knowing the mishap with the contraceptives, I peed on a stick and of course, I'm pregnant. Decides not to tell him because despite everything I don't want to mess up someone's life or marriage, but a friend at the time takes it upon himself to tell TB he's going to be a father, again, and to sort his shit out and make things right. That's how it came to light that he has no intention of ever coming back, was only in the country for a visa that his wife is sponsoring and she still thinks they're happily married. The harassment started on the same day as him finding out about the pregnancy. I received so many threats at work. In my emails, he asked me to get an abortion, I was sent graphic images of aborted fetty, an appointment was made for me at the abortion clinic and I was threatened with accidents and that they will tell everyone at my employer that I am a homewrecker who had an affair and had sex in my office, etc. etc. These emails were mostly sent to my work address, so I was horrified that IT might find out. They threatened to disclose our private WhatsApp conversations that were, unfortunately, NSFW but also made within the privacy that you expect of a relationship. Luckily no nudes or videos of me despite him pasting my head on naked pee at RN picture and sending it around also to one of my clients. Turns out he turned to one of his other side pieces for help, let's call her GF2. God knows what he told GF2 to get her to help him or whether she knew she was the other woman too, as she's known him for very long, but she merrily joined in the harassment and threats. She was absolutely hateful towards me, his ex-wife and his mom, so I assumed she knew she was not the only woman in his harem. At some point TB and GF2 had a falling out. The first few months were fuzzy as I was dealing with everything all at once. GF2 told his wife, who told his mom, who told his sister about TB's affairs. His wife then contacted me and gave me the third degree, understandably, as she just found out her husband cheated and fathered a child with another woman while she was keeping the house together and paying for his visa. Here are some of the top comments from our community. Don't feel bad about being conned by TB. He is a serial cheater, and serial cheaters are professional conmen. They know which buttons to push to get what they want, and most of them can hide the red flags and red 2x4s very well. I'm already using an alternative name online and trying to stay off of social media. I don't share any photos or personal details in any form online, also to keep the kids safe, and I've asked the school not to use photos where they appear online. We immigrated a year ago and I have spent days trying to come up with a plan of how to change my name, use my second passport, and start being anonymous in my new country. The problem is my name is linked to my business and my publication, so I can't change that. Out of interest, why no restraining order? This could be called something else where you are. My apologies for any misunderstanding, or AVO as a preventative measure, i.e. having done this at the start? Also, how do they obtain your customers' personal information? Could also get a legal representative, authorized to perform on your behalf, in court, subject to your nation's laws surrounding this. Good luck! Exclamation mark. That was hard to reconcile. How can I be so stupid? But you realize over time, lots of time, you can be a genius and still not see it. Like you said, their behavior is practiced so well over the years of doing this shit, by the time he got to me it was a well-oiled machine of trickery and fuckery. I truly believe that he is a psychopath, and not in the mocking way we say, oh you're a psycho, but a real, textbook psychopath. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.